What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Your Daddy Issues Gaming. So what I want to do today is I want to talk about how I fell in love with virtual reality. Man, let me tell you, virtual reality has been a huge part of my life since the early 90s. You know, I remember first learning about Sega VR. And I remember in certain issues of like Game Pro or EGM, there was a particular vendor. I think it was Chips and Bits. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was Chips and Bits. And they actually, it was for pre-order Christmas of 1993. And man, let me tell you, when I saw that headset, I had to have it. You know, virtual reality for me has always been like this great escape. And as a child, that was such an important part of my childhood, was an escape from just, you know, my everyday drudgery, shall I say. But it was this device that was going to take me to a whole new world. You know, I remember when I was like, I think I was probably 10 or 11 when Lawnmower Man came out. And even then, you know, that film did not age well at all. You know, I still I can't understand to this day how being strapped in like this centrifugal device that spins you all around can simulate your experience, what you would experience in a virtual world. To me, it just, even as a child, it just seemed like something that would get you sick. But the most important thing was the fact that it was an escape. It was an escape to an entirely new world. So needless to say, when Nintendo, introduced the Virtual Boy, I was ecstatic. I was all over it. I had to have it, you know, and I remember getting it. And yeah, it wasn't like the portable VR powerhouse, especially compared to today, what we have today. It wasn't that, but it was something new. And yes, the red and black looks terrible, but the depth, you know, the fact that you can escape to this world. I remember just being in this thing and not being aware of what was going on outside. I could still hear what was going on outside, of course, but you know, I was hunched over on a table with my face pressed up against this thing, playing Mario Tennis or Wario. And I just remember thinking, man, this is the future. And I really hate that the Virtual Boy didn't do as well, but I really do have to commend what Nintendo was trying to do, especially in the early to mid 90s, because this technology was in its infancy. You know, as far as I understand, the LCD screens or LED screens that they used were quite expensive. I mean, I think this device was around $250 when it was released. But yeah, it didn't sell well. And as you all know, it literally, they discontinued it within like 6 months to a year of its life. I remember in the late 90s, I think around 98, 99, you can pick these things up for like $20, brand new in box. Like, people were just sitting on stock of this stuff. And I actually ended up picking up another one, just for fun or whatever. And yeah, it was a great device. I was just at the SoCal Retro Gaming Expo last weekend, and I saw someone selling one in a box, but they said it needed repairs. That alone was $200. You know, I was tempted, but I was just like, I don't know if I want to take the time to repair this thing or whatever the case may be, but it's nice to have it just for the nostalgia factor. I appreciate this program that is on the Quest 2. It's a Virtual Boy emulator. And you can load it through SideQuest, and I'll leave the link down in the description. But yeah, this was my first physical foray into virtual reality. And I even had a Victor Max. I don't know if any of you remember that. That thing was god awful. So god awful. It was blatant blatantly misadvertised because it was not virtual reality. It was literally just like these two tiny screens to play your Nintendo or Sega Genesis games on, and it looked so washed out. It was atrocious. But I even remember being excited for that. And when I finally got it, I was so disappointed. But this is the technology that people were experimenting. Companies were experimenting with during that time. And I remember seeing a lot of those. I believe it was Sony who used to have those home theater glasses. So it was basically like viewing a 60-inch TV from 5 feet away. And I know that sounds so just what today. I mean, we have our huge TVs today, but back in the 90s, that was a big deal. No one was really rocking a 50-inch, 60-inch TV. And if you had a big screen TV, that thing weighed about 500 pounds. Rear projection, big screen TVs, kids, let me tell you, you are lucky today. Hell, I'm lucky. But yeah, and so from there, my love for virtual reality did not wane whatsoever. And when Oculus started, when Lucky Palmer started kickstarting Oculus, I got really excited for that. Unfortunately, I missed out on the DK1 and a DK2. I actually ended up picking up a DK2 later, but my first consumer VR headset was the Gear VR for the Samsung Note 4. And that thing blew me away. And then when Oculus started offering, it announced the CV1. I got that day one. I got an HTC Vive day one. And and to this day, I'm still blown away by VR. It never ceased to amaze me what it can do. I have a HP Reverb G2 as well as an Oculus Quest 2 and the rest of the older headsets in my closet. So just wanted to share a quick story about that. And yeah, hope to see you guys next time. Please hit the subscribe. Peace.